Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be cleaning out my new S14 with the 5.0 swap. We're going to get the seats back installed, we're going to install the hood, we're going to make sure the bumper stays on. We're going to pretty much try to get this thing back to full interior and make sure that all of the junk that's in it comes out of it, all of the garbage gets thrown away, and all of the good stuff gets kept. So let's get into today's video. This is the factory S14 drive shaft. And I have a drive shaft for the 5.0. I'm going to take this end of the drive shaft off and use the forward end of the 5.0 drive shaft and make one drive shaft. That way we'll get the power from the T5 to the rear end. Carbureted manifold. Most likely gonna use this. I don't know if I want to deal with the EFI stuff, but I'll definitely have to change this carburetor. I got two different rear ends. This is the factory rear end. It comes with the S14s. As you can see, it's an open diff because the two shafts rotate different ways. This is a Skyline rear end. We're going to be putting this in eventually. And this is full lock. Pausey. Eventually, like I said, I'm going to slap this in. I know somehow I'm supposed to be able to put this somewhere here that it can be welded. And that way I can use the factory cable from a 5.0. Like I said, all of this is the figuring out part to finish up the swap. Got a spacer plate for the carburetor. I really got to take my time, go through it, and figure out what's garbage and what's not. So I'm gonna hurry up and rush through this because, as you guys can see, there's a lot of parts in here. I want to get this thing cleaned up. I want to get the seats in. I want to get the dashboard sitting back on. I might not bolt it back on because I actually need to do some rewiring, take out a few things, and go from there. But yeah, I'll be back when I'm already cleaned out and I have all the parts that we're going to save in the front of the car. Alrighty, so before I go any further, let me just run you guys through what I found. We got some mats here to go in the car, which is good. Brand new fan, glove box. The dashboard's a bit beaten up, but not worried too much about that. We have all of the interior pieces, which is very good. We have all the lights, we have all the pedals, we have the shifter for the transmission, we have the gauge cluster, we have a spare steering wheel, carburetor manifold, the bolts for the rear end. We have, I think, about two drive shafts. We have two rear ends. This is the factory rear end, and this is the upgraded full lock. I think this is a Skyline GTR rear end. That's everything that I have in the front here. Actually, this is a distributor for carburetors, which means that it's vacuum advance instead of electric advance. So I'm going to be, in the next video, yanking this top part of this motor off so that we can get it fitted for this carburetor manifold. I'm most likely going to tear this all apart, get a new carburetor, because they're only like $100 for this one, the 2-barrel one. And this is actually the same manifold and same carburetor I had on my gray Mustang. It didn't really have a lot of power, but it was very reliable. So I'm going to start with that. This is the EFI harness for the 5.0. I can use it if I want to, but where I'm so brain dead when it comes to EFI and not really caring to have it, I'm going to skip that and just go straight to carburation. Found some good side mirrors, some spare rotors, not sure if those are good, a half axle, so I can use this instead of tearing apart the other one. I can use this to make my drive shaft, custom drive shaft for the car. These are very special. These are Z32 axles that go along with that Skyline rear end, and Z32 brakes, so pretty much a full conversion. I doubt I'm going to do that before I get the car running. Probably when the car is making some decent power, like when we go to stage 2 or stage 3 of this build, I'm gonna deal with that. But that's everything we found. And you know, you can't have a 240 without some rust. So she has some rust in the trunk. Most likely when I get it painted, I'll get that dealt with, so I'll leave nothing in the trunk. Currently getting inside cleaned up, and then we can go from there. But I won't be putting the seats in today because I believe this has to, the dash has to come out so that I can do some welding in the front here, because they cut a part of the car to get the motor and trying to fit, which is fine. A lot of people do that. I've done it on a swap before. So you do that just to get it to fit, and then you build a custom piece of tunnel right over it. So I'm gonna take this out and deal with that eventually. But in the next video, we're gonna be tearing down the top part of that motor, taking all the EFI stuff out of it, and pretty much just cleaning it up. I'm gonna remove the valve fan covers, and I am going to inspect the motor just to make sure we're not working on a dud. Make sure that there's nothing wrong with it. Get me an oil filter. I'm gonna remove this entire system in the front here, which is the AC, idler pulley, and smog pump. I believe that's what that is. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, smog pump. I'm gonna remove that full section because we don't need it. We just need the water pump, alternator, and the power steering, and that'll be it. So pretty straightforward. Got a lot of parts to put up. I'm gonna get these things put up, and then I'm going to remove this intercooler because we don't need that, and we're gonna get the headlights, the bumper, and the hood situated. I might have to remove that intake manifold to get the hood to close, so stay tuned for that. We're gonna get this thing looking the best possible before ending this video. And there you have it. Bumper, lights, hood secure. Now the only issue with the hood being secure is that it doesn't close over this intake manifold, so I'm gonna have to take that off to actually get it to shut. But that'll be for another video because I actually need to get that off and take the valve pan covers off and stuff, check the internals of the motor before we put the carburetor back on. But we got all the junk out of the car. As you can see, all we have is a very clean interior. The trunk got cleaned as well, so there's no more junk in the trunk. This is how the back of the car looks. Pretty much. Next video, we're gonna be working on the engine, getting all of the EFI stuff off of it, and getting the carburetor manifold installed. I'm gonna be taking off the AC compressor, the idler pulley, and the, I think you call that a, not a fog pump, smog pump, yeah. So gonna be taking off all of these because you don't actually need it. And then we can get to working on the carburetor setup and getting the vacuum advanced distributor installed and working on all that stuff. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Always remember, don't drift without your dreams, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.